think there's sort of two sides to how the impact has played out. There's how it's impacted the fleet of vessels servicing Russia, so the freight rates from Russia, and then the non-Russian rates. And initially, both rose. Obviously, the Russian rates rose more sharply, and they have sort of maintained those increases. We've seen very large increases from ESPO, for ESPO in the Far East, from Cosmino to China, and then smaller increases from Black Sea into India, for example. And the reason for that is the Treasury targeted a larger share of the vessels that were carrying ESPO than, say, Urals. Urals being obviously the base load accounts for the vast majority of those ships. But because ESPO is a more premium grade crude, it's more expensive. And I imagine the US Treasury was able to gather more evidence of price cap infringements on those vessels. So we estimate that over 60% of the ships that carried ESPO last year were included in this round of sanctions. That's compared to 19% of those carrying Urals. So we're seeing a dislocated impact in terms of the freight, because essentially to continue to ship to continue to ship ESPO, there needs to be more vessels that are drawn in to solve that problem, less so for Urals. And that's really why we're also not seeing such a continued price impact on crude. The market has seen it, it's observed it, and it's essentially concluded this is significant. This is a significant impact on Russia's ability to shift its crude. However, it is not a massive supply issue. Urals is still flowing, and in fact, ESPO is still flowing pretty well. There's enough vessels in the mix at the moment. We are obviously in a bit of a winding down period, but there's been no long-term issue at the moment. Freight rates, particularly on the non-Russian routes, spiked very sharply initially. We saw a lot of charterers move in to pick up Middle East grades, but then once they realized that the issue is not a permanent one, or at the moment is not significant, those freight rates have dropped right back down again.